Yellow. Over the last 3 to 4 years, I have been experimenting with the Ordinary products. I don't know why I just use that word experimenting, because I'm acting like I've been creating potions and different remedies with these serums. However, the one blemish formula that I always found myself consistently using was the niacinamide. For the last how many years, I have about a solid 10 to 20 videos dedicated on this one specific serum. The brand, The Ordinary, has finally, well, not finally, it's not like I was like crossing my fingers hoping that they would release, like, please release it in a powder form, but they have come around to releasing the niacinamide in a powder form. And this is really interesting to me because I have never in the 3-4 years of using skincare products, which sucks because I should have been using it for a little longer, but I'm a nitwit. I have never experimented with anything outside of a liquid or a gel or a cream form. And now, do you see that? Now we got powder. I'm just gonna show you what the consistency turns out to look like, and I'm just gonna mix everything together. I'm gonna take the hyaluronic acid, I'm gonna put more on here. You see the little dab right there, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of the niacinamide powder, and I'm just gonna show you what it turns into before I start applying it on my face. So I'm gonna grab a generous amount of the hyaluronic acid. I'm gonna just put in a little more. This is what the jar looks like. The Ordinary is written at the top. There it is, the little logo itself. Also, by the way, the nice thing about this is that they give you this little cheap plastic, it's just this like really cheap plastic little spoon, which is fine because it's a decent size to scoop out a decent amount, because if you're unsure of how much you should be using, this spoon is a good reference. Sorry, I'm literally making it out of the frame. This spoon is a good reference to show you how much of the product you could be scooping. So I'm just gonna scoop-a-doop the little amount of niacinamide. So that's what it looks like. So now I'm gonna apply this generous amount of niacinamide powder into the mixture. So now let's mix it. I'm just gonna use a spoon, honestly, and go in and like mix everything together. And I'm gonna swatch it. So I'm gonna take a decent amount on my finger. Good evening, folks. The first step-a-rooney to getting ready to go to sleep and calling it quits and calling it a night and hitting the hay and going snooze-a-rooney is washing my face with like a cleanser. And I'm gonna quickly use my cleanser before I get into the niacinamide powder with the hyaluronic acid mixed together in a little mixture. The two benefits in one, 2 for 1, amazing, perfect, cool. I just constructed my mixture, and this is realistically how much I think I want to use on my face. I don't want to use a lot, and I also don't want to use a little. Keep in mind, I think I used more powder than I did use hyaluronic acid because I want to test out the waters with, obviously, the powder, the new product. I just hit my arm on the glass. In my opinion, this still seems like a little too much. Like, I don't think I need that much, so maybe I'm going to wipe off a little bit. But this is up to you. I just think I could go with a little less, but if you want to go for a little more, nobody is stopping you, buddy. I just checked myself out in the mirror and I noticed that the powder kind of clings on to certain areas. You can't, I don't know if you can see, see how it like gets stuck in certain places? You just kind of have to blend that out. I think I should have put in a little bit more of hyaluronic acid, but I really wanted to just try out the powder and see how much change we can notice in the morning from this gross face, this droopy, deadly looking face in the morning, and maybe see if it looks awoken, bright, gorgeous, beautiful, smoother. The texture is gone, the pimples are gone. I guess we'll just have to check back in the AM. Good morning. It is early and I specifically woke up so I could check on my face because I was actually really curious. Normally I could probably sleep in till a solid 11 o'clock, maybe noon, but today I was like, let's wake up at like 8 or 9 and just check up on my face because I really did want to see what the niacinamide powder looked like. And don't mind me, I didn't put any of my caffeine solution on, so I do definitely look like I have big apples stuck under my eyes. I will zoom into my face so you guys can kind of observe maybe what looked different from last night. I know last night I didn't do like a whole in-depth what my skin looked like. I should have done that, I completely forgot to, but I'll show you what it looks like and then I'll explain what I noticed. When I was washing my face this morning with water, when I was just kind of wiping it down, the very first thing that I noticed before looking in the mirror is the texture of my skin. So overnight, and I know that this happens with the niacinamide in one use, is that the texture becomes so much more smoother. When I was washing my face, you know when you kind of like wipe down your face like with your hands, with your water, or like when you're just touching your face in general, and sometimes it feels just like kind of bumpy, like it feels like gravel. And especially when you have like an area like myself where I break out here the most, I was kind of going over it and I was like, oh snap, like it's smooth now. I was like, wow, over one use. And I knew that the niacinamide did that. I didn't know about the powder, but I was like amazed by that. Like when I touch like parts of my area, it feels like I put lotion on it and like it's just so smooth, but I didn't do anything to it this morning. So that's the first thing that I noticed. And now the second thing that I noticed is this patch of acne that I have, these like blemishes, they are still pretty evident. You could still probably see them, especially when I did zoom in the camera. You could see what was formed here. Like I have, it just like, it was all that congestion from wearing a mask and breathing in it, especially that I go to the gym. You have to kind of like walk around with it. So when you're sweating, it doesn't help your skin because it's just congestion and then acne forms and you're a goner. But the size and just like the look of them aren't so bright in your face anymore. Like I was looking in the mirror and it's just kind of like the I guess like, yeah, the scarring that's left over until it eventually finally just like gets gone. But yesterday it was like actual like pimples. And I was like, I looked in the mirror this morning and once again, the niacinamide is really great at doing that overnight, just like decreasing the size of any blemishes you have. And I was actually amazed at the powder doing that as well, because keep in mind, I used more powder than I did hyaluronic acid last night. Alrighty-o, so I mean, I gave myself the entire night to kind of sleep on this product. I tried it out. I got to observe my face in the morning. I can't really give you like an informative review because once again, I've only used it overnight, even though I definitely will keep everybody updated on this product because I absolutely love it. This is like sick. It's like fun. You get to add powder to all your serums. So for a little bit, especially now that a lot of services, a lot of things have been opening up in my area, you have to wear masks. And for me, obviously I'm gonna wear masks. I'm not gonna not follow the rules, but for me, it becomes a problem because now my skin starts to be a little congested. And because a mask covers up my most problematic areas, I start to break out a lot. And I started to get like this little region of acne that just won't leave me alone, darn. But with this product, the powder, that region of blemishes decreased in size last night to now. Pretty like a lot. Like, I mean, it was pretty visible, still is visible. I'm always gonna have a visible, stupid, acne-prone, skin-sensitive, problematic issue on my face. But I mean, it's not like crazy like in your face as it was maybe like a couple days ago. The appearance of my skin overall it does look brighter. I mean, it doesn't look like droopy like it normally does. And it also just doesn't look blocked. I hope people understand what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say like there's like something blocking my skin, but my skin just doesn't look like there's like blocked. Like, I don't know how else do you, like congested, I guess. I like this thing and I do trust this thing because I've always trusted the niacinamide serum. So now that it's in a powder form, this is gonna be so fun because now I can mix it in with other products, other serums, other everything. This has come to the end of my video. For anybody who's watching me, if anybody's ever watching me, I'll talk to y'all in the next video. TTYLs.